your requests in cause. On Total Request AI, I wanna be your guy. I wanna be the one with on-demand albums to someday reflect on. On Total Request AI, where I can read your mind and spin the newest hits made live as we beg for a revolution. Maybe the big top five's not deceiving, 'cause every time they put up my track, they don't charge them listening. Then maybe my top's so untouchable, the world's been turned to pork, no. On Total Request AI, I wanna be your guy. I wanna be the one that gets one over on one, so they face my retribution. On Total Request AI, where I can read your mind and spin the newest hits made live as we make a revolution. So if you wanna woo for a web at the matinee, get a certain 1,500 gents to spread the rumor I'm paying rent. On Total Request AI, I wanna be your guy. I wanna be the one that makes you cry out for a revolution. On Total Request AI, where I can read your mind and spin the newest hits made live as we storm through a revolution.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Dave. This is FFOP Radio. Once again, welcome to it. What have we got for you tonight? Well, it's the, we'll get into it in a second, more Total Request AI. Before I start breaking everything down, let me introduce you to my co-host and producer. Chris is right over there off camera.
That's me.
So maybe you're thinking to yourself, "What? Thank you, Brick. It's my DJ costume." You say, well, why is this the finale? So I've got a bunch of updates for the channel and my life in particular, just so you guys are aware of what's going on. So why is this the last episode of Total Request AI? A few reasons. So first and foremost, coming up next week, I'm putting in my 2-week notice for the job that I work outside of the meadery. So that's going to be a big thing going to be happening, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of moving parts in the next couple of weeks here coming up. So that leads us into what are we doing here tonight, right? So I'm going to, we're making pretty okay turnaround at the meadery, which is why I'm quitting the job. However, I'm still, I'm a stressed person. I'm an anxious person. So what I'm going to be doing is trimming all of the fat out of my personal budget. And basically what that amounts to is all of my subscriptions that I pay for going to get axed. So Suno is going to be gone. I'll probably still use it, the free version, for like the intro songs of the shows coming up in the future and all that good stuff, because they'll still give me 50 credits a month, which is just enough to get one song every show. And a couple of other things, like it's just these shows in particular take a decent chunk of my time. Like I think all said and done, I probably put about 6 hours into getting these songs for you tonight. And that seems to be like hit or miss, because like I was saying, if you're in our Discord, it was just spitting out nothing but country. I would put in any sort of genre that wasn't country, and it would be like, okay, there's a steel guitar, there's a dude who definitely has sex with a blood relation. So I go, God damn it, it's just getting frustrating. So, so that's what I'm saying. Like the major stuff I'm going to change will be revolving around like the money I can spend. because that's the thing. I'm going to be quitting my job. One of the 3 jobs. I count this as a job. One of the 3 jobs I have. So that being said, I did try to blow this one out. So in our last episode, I think we had 11, 12 tracks.
Yeah.
This one, I try to get as many as I can and also throw in a couple of highlights from my personal experience that I turned into song. Krista gave us a couple, so I think we got 17 tracks
Wow.
for this episode, which, yeah, it's a decent amount, it's a chunk. I don't know how long it's going to take. Yeah, we're going out with a bang. And, this time, especially because I was running into issues with Suno, I don't think it even knows what's okay and what's not, because I would keep getting these errors. It was like, oh, moderation, or you can't do this, or there was an error, try again. And I would just have to log out, log back in, and then it would take things that it no longer would take that were being caught by the filter. I was so annoyed because here's the thing. I don't know if I got on the list. Let me look at my list really quick. No. So what I wanted was a song based on the 1994 classic Alec Baldwin headed vehicle, The Shadow, right? So getting trash one after the other. So I tried there's the classic lyric and the other lyric mode. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pull it up because I want you to hear, not hear, I'm not going to play it for you because it was totally fucked. But it was having so much trouble, it gave me basically an error message and also like, hey, fuck you, we're not going to do it. So let me, here, I'll just get it pulled up. What I wanted was lyrics about The Shadow. Here's what it spit out. These are the lyrics. It sang this to me. It's a 2 songs. One's 3 minutes, one's 2 minutes and 33 seconds. The lyrics it spit out that it just repeats are, my influencers are so random. I don't write songs like that. Can I show you what I'm working on now instead?
What?
I asked for a song about the fucking shadow. I was so irritated, but
Matt says it's as moody as a real musician. I love it.
yeah, that's the thing. It says, whatever. It gives me 3,000 credits a month, which is like roughly 500 songs. But like, here's the thing. Again, I spent probably 6 hours putting this playlist together for you, getting all the good ones because, and then, okay, so I go, okay, this is the last one. I got to burn through all these credits. I'm like, make me a song about the Ninja Turtles. Trash. Make me a song about the Shadow. Trash. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. I would go to like ChatGPT to give me lyrics because sometimes they have better song structure and whatnot. It is becoming way too involved to.
Yeah, it's like a full-time job to make music from AI.
It's not only that. Like these are fun, but the reason why I do these shows is so I can yak at you with my noise hole. And as we play songs, I'm not getting that fix, right? So like I said. All that aside, still doing the show. I'm going to try and get more true crime back into the mix. There's a case I really want to cover that I just have not had the time, but it is coming. I promise you that.
I think I have to probably record it.
Yeah, it's like, it's 2 hours of raw interrogation footage. Plus, I want to cover her closing arguments to the judge because here's what not off topic, obviously. Here's what you don't want to do. If you get charged for first-degree murder and the judge says, would you like to say something in your behalf? You spend the first 10 minutes talking about your 25 knee surgeries. Guess what? The kids you made orphans don't give a fuck about your fucking knees. They just don't. You're a stupid bitch, and I hate you. If you know who I'm talking about, type a 1 in the chat. Anyway, these basically, some of them came to me as they came in order, but since some people are more request heavy than others, I sort of mixed it up so we have a mix of this person and that person, yada yada yada.
FDOS is 0.
That being said, let's jump into our first song. This is FFOP Radio, Total Request AI. This one comes to us from Big T, if you know who that is.
Hey,
he
Big
has
T.
a little credibility with the Arizona folks because his profile picture is a cactus. But this is a song called Buzzin' Pool Panic.
Before you do that, hit the button.
Which one?
The
Sorry, I can't see my this chat.
Ryan says, God bless David's noise hole. Long may he yak.
That's the thing. Like, this is a lot like heroin to some people, or like meth or something along those lines. If I don't get a decent amount of just yelling into the ether with people listening on the other side, it gets a little troublesome for me. Yeah, that's him. He's the request heavy one. Spoiler alert.
I'm them.
So that's it. Here we go. So like I was saying, this is coming to us from Big T. It's somewhat Southwest influenced because maybe you guys have pools where you are. I know they're very popular out here. But that being said, this is a little song called "Buzzin' Pool Panic," and I think you'll figure out what it's all about when we listen. So take a listen, or maybe you won't. I pushed the button.
Did you turn the volume down?
No. Hold on. Please hold.
Please hold.
It's not happening. It's not happening. See, there's another reason. Here we go. There you go.
Kids are splashing water, laughing in delight. But here comes a hum that's
Don't have a pool.
shaking
No.
the ground.
Only Arizona's this town.
Overhead. What's that buzzing sound? Bees are buzzing in the summer heat. Tiny wings, chaos on repeat. Diving fast like they're ruling the skies. The pool turns to panic. Oh, what a surprise. Timmy's got his floaties. He's ready to flee. Susie's scream echoes like a symphony. Feet are slapping wet tiles all around. A disco of terror breaks out on the ground. Bees are buzzing in the summer heat. Tiny wings, chaos on repeat. Diving fast like they're ruling the skies. The pool turns to panic. Oh, what a surprise. Timmy's got his floaties. He's ready to flee. Susie's scream echoes like a symphony. Feet are slapping wet tiles all around. A disco of terror breaks out on the ground. Lifeguards blowing whistles, waving his hands. Swarms not listening, got their own plans. Kaleidoscope wings, they're turning the tide. Public pools a battlefield, nowhere to hide. Parents in flip-flops slipping in the spray, grabbing their kids but they can't get away. The buzz grows louder, it's nature's groove. Can't beat the beast, so they're forced to move. Bees are buzzing in the summer heat. Tiny wings, chaos on repeat. Diving fast like they're ruling the skies. The pool turns to panic. Oh, what a surprise.
There you go, guys. FFOP Radio. That was Buzzin' Pool Panic from Big T. Sound off in the chat. I've never been afraid of bees, and even less so now that I work around their their main export exclusively. Something strange also happens. In the meadery, tons of bees fly in the door and then just hang out by the front window.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
So I have to grab them and give them, back to nature.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of anything that flies or crawls. typically crickets are disgusting and I wish they would all die, but I realize
It is hilarious.
They're very important to the ecosystem. The things I like eat crickets, so great. I think I'm okay with wasps too. Anything that flies or buzzes, as long as you don't fuck with them, they have zero reason to fuck with you. Bees more so than any other stinging flying insects. Simply because you have to piss a bee off so bad that it's willing to kill itself to injure you.
But not all, that doesn't happen to all bees. Only one type of bee dies after it stings you.
I'm pretty sure the Africanized honeybees and the European honeybees both have the same affliction where their ass gets torn apart. Doesn't matter. Even if they do, you'd have to be, and bumblebees are great. I love bumblebees, carpenter bees, anything, I love a fat ass. Bumblebees especially. They're so adorable. They're like the dogs of the insect world. They're fuzzy. They got a great color scheme.
I've gotten stung by bees 11 times.
Never been stung in my entire life because I'm a friend of the bee.
One flew in when I was in school. I was in elementary school. One flew into the window and stung me in the pinky, and I was just sitting at my desk.
Right, but they can smell your fear. That's the thing.
I didn't know it was there.
It doesn't matter. It can smell it on you. It knows. It fucking knows. You know what happens when a bee stings you? Its ass breaks off and it dies. Yeah, James Rolfe said it best. I think, he brought it up in the Beetlejuice game review, obviously.
Beetlejuice.
But there you go. So that's the thing. I'm not I was going to say not a fan, but I'm not an enemy of bees. I save them when they fall in pools. I think they are worth saving because pollinators are our lifeblood, essentially. Right,
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I don't want them to be near me. I'm not I'm not a flower.
Right, but they see colors that you wear and they're attracted by them and stuff. They like the smell, they like the vibe of the meadery, so they come in and they want to check it out. I don't think they should die for just being, not a customer, but just a looky-loo.
I like to imagine Dave just diving into a pool to rescue a bee. He probably would. If it was a grasshopper, he'd be like, fuck it.
No, grasshoppers can eat my ass. Crickets can go straight to hell. I don't want them. Don't like them. I'm glad that things eat them because they are plagues.
I think grasshoppers are neat, and they're supposed to be good luck.
Disgusting. No, they're horrible.
And they don't sting you. Ryan says, do the swarms of bees at the meadery form into objects like cartoons?
Yeah, like working human ears and like fingers and stuff. It's always happening like that. I mean, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a bee that's taken on some sort of anthropomorphic body part. That being said, be nice to bees. There are some insects out there that I think are shitheads. There's the bee fly, which I don't like because what they'll do is they're like cuckoo birds or whatever. I forget who does this, but there's a bird that lays its egg in somebody else's nest and then it fucking kicks the other eggs out or the other babies out. The bee fly does that to carpenter bees. It'll go into their holes, flick those poor little baby bastards right out of the nest, and then the parents are stuck raising someone who isn't even theirs. Changeling. I'm not a fan. Whatever. Moral of the story is, be nice to the bees. If you can't, I get it. Just don't fuck with them like in a detrimental way. Next up, what we have is something close to my heart because it relates to physical media. This comes to us from Matt. It is about, it's called The Scandalous Reel.
Oh.
Apparently a man was found dead. He had a VHS cassette tape in his possession and something about it holding the downfall of mankind or something along those lines. Bad things are on this video cassette tape. Here's the thing. I know what VCR is, right? Video cassette recorder.
Yes.
VHS. Video what? Never looked it up. Lived with it my entire life. Never looked it up. But here it is. It's called Scandalous Reel, and this is by Matt.
In the alleyway mist, where the shadows lay low, a man was found silent, his last breath ago. Clutched in his grasp, a tape worn and gray, held mysteries bound to the light of the day. The jazz of deceit played low in the dark as pawns moved on chessboards and struck with a spark. Fingers pointed, reputations fell steep as secrets unwailed wakened beasts from their sleep. What price for the truth? What cost for a name? What justice can rise when the guilty abstain? The saxophone wails, the clarinet cries, the tape spins its tale, and the world rewinds.
FFOP Radio. That was the scandalous something or other. Let me look at the thing. The scandalous reel. So yes, everybody, let's address them in order. Video head system I would have bought because, you know, if you lived in the 90s, and if you do, I'm sorry your back hurts. But if you lived in an era or even still use a VCR, the number and quality of the heads inside that VCR was a bragging point. Video, what was it? Home system? I also
system.
get that because you bring video to your home. And how else are you going to do that? YouTube? No.
But it's not. But a tape is not a system. It's
but
a thing.
Video home system cassette. VHS cassette tape. So the system, whatever, it's many heads. And you know, people are always concerned about how much and how many heads there are. A couple other things too. This gave me, maybe it's not a sticking point for you guys, but the music gave me very strong Grim Fandango vibes. The Kylie Minogue aspect, here's the thing. With Kylie Minogue, there was one song like in the early 2000s where she was, I can't remember the song. Can't Get You Out of My Head, maybe?
Can't get you
Yeah,
out of
that
my
one.
head.
Super hot in that music video. I go, nice.
Yeah.
It's hitting my, CD burners, LimeWire, Napster was on my playlist. Still have that track to this day. Don't Tell the Feds. But yeah, there you go. That's a nice little smooth. I love a good moody jazz song. I love any jazz really, except for a couple of jazz. Acid jazz, way too
Haphazard.
way too out there. It makes me very anxious to listen to that sort of stuff. But there you go. So that's coming to us from Matt. Thank you so much, Matt. Appreciate that. Okay, so the next one is it's a semi-short song about a short person in my life. It's a bubblegum kids pop song about a very specific person who ends up. Let me see. Let me get it queued up here. Yep, I've lost it. There it is. Okay, yeah. Very specific person who realizes there's monsters under his bed, but has no reaction. So please take a listen to this.
There's a boy named Elliot, no fear in his brain. Monsters in the closet think they're bringing the pain. Underneath the bed, they're scheming in the dark. Elliot just yawns while they're trying to make their mark. No reaction, Elliot's stone face cool. They roar and scream, but he won't play the fool. Monsters crumble when he's standing tall. Elliot's got no fear at all.
There you go. That's no reaction. So a couple of things too. If you can believe it, FDO, I don't know how this came up. We were watching something on YouTube and they were talking about Little Monsters, the Fred Savage, Howie Mandel, fever dream, nightmare bullshit. Krista hasn't obviously seen it. I had it on VHS, saw the fuck out of it. Both Savages, Ben and Fred, are in it. Playing brothers, obviously. Daniel Stern plays the dad, if I'm not mistaken. And it is a fucking, like, it makes Return to Oz look like The Wizard of Oz. If that makes sense. Like, it is a, like, the boss has, like, this henchman with this huge humpback, and he, like, rips his face off, and there's all the, like, it's fucking full-blown body horror that got passed off as a child's movie. And it was I can't believe I watched it so much. Even though I knew when, like, the shit hit the fan and I knew I should probably turn it off, I kept watching.
Right,
Like-
you're like invested at that point. You have to know
like,
what happens.
The monsters, when they, like, light hits them, they turn into clothes. You got to put them back under the bed, which is like a portal to the monster world, which is just like this Salvador Dali acid trip fever dream, and everybody's a fucking disaster. There's, like, no nice people there. It was terrible, but you know, if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, sorry to waste your time. So there's that. Yeah, Howie Mandel, I couldn't believe it. Also,
Is
not
he really short?
who?
Howie Mandel?
No,
Oh, okay.
this is a normal sized dude. You know, adult sized monster. It's not monster in my pocket. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, that being said, this next one comes to us. It's our one and only submission from Baked Salmon, and it's about, well, it's about a very close character to my heart. We covered his interrogation on this very channel. We've got multiple songs about him wanting to shave people, you know, down there. But this is a little story about, you know, obviously I'm talking about Justin McFetridge. And this is a little song called Justin. No, that's not called Justin. It's A Life on the McFetridge. And I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you on the other side of this tune, FFOP Radio.
Well, Dustin McFetridge, he was a man on the run, down by the old creek, just looking for some fun. He didn't know it, but tonight would be the night. He'd meet a man named Chris Hansen, and he'd change his life. Chris rolled up in a truck with a smile so cold, with a badge and a camera ready to unfold. Dustin had no clue what was coming his way, but Chris had a show that would make him pay. Oh, Dustin McFetridge, what did you say? You didn't know Chris Hansen was coming your way. He asked why you here and what's on your mind. You thought you were clever, but you were blind. Caught on to catch a predator, you were on the show. And Chris Hansen's got the proof to let the whole world know. Chris sat down by the door with a calm, steady grin. Said, Dustin, I've seen this time and time again. Dustin started sweating, his face went pale. Didn't know he'd be caught by the show that prevails. Now tell me, Dustin, what brings you here tonight? Your words are on camera, and they're not looking right. Dustin stammered, tried to make a run, but Chris had his number, this was no fun. Oh, Dustin McFetridge, what did you say? You didn't know Chris Hansen was coming your way. He asked why you here and what's on your mind. You thought you were clever, but you were blind. Caught on to catch a predator, you were on the show. And Chris Hansen's got the proof to let the whole world know. Well, Dustin tried to laugh it off, but it wasn't enough. Chris Hansen had his number, and things were getting rough. Now, Dustin, he said, you're caught in the act. On to catch a predator, there's no looking back. Dustin just stared, feeling trapped in a bind, thinking maybe he should have stayed home that night. No, Dustin McFetridge, what did you say? You didn't know Chris Hansen was coming your way. He asked, why you here and what's on your mind? You thought you were clever, but you were blind. Caught on to catch a predator, you were on the show. And Chris Hansen's got the proof to let the whole world know. So Dustin McFetridge, now everyone knows, caught in his lies on the show that blows. To catch a predator, it caught him that night. Chris Hansen brought the truth into the light. Now Dustin walks a new road with a lesson to learn. Thanks to Chris Hansen, it's his time to turn.
Guys, that was Life on the McFetridge.
Wow.
Couple of things now. Brick says loves him some banjo and he means it. Me too. Here's two instruments I think are criminally underutilized: the banjo and the saxophone. Now, obviously, the saxophone you're going to get in like a lot of jazz. Smooth jazz usually hangs around like the clarinet area. I think the saxophone has so much like depth and soul to it, and the banjo, when used properly, is something that kicks ass.
Yeah.
So, Brick, I'm going to give you this recommendation. You probably heard me say this before, but if you like, and I know you do, like banjos, and if you like, and I know you do, like depressing music, check out 16 Horsepower. The album I am thinking of specifically is called Sackcloth and Ashes. It is some of the most haunting and beautiful and spooky music I've ever heard. It feels ripped right out of the Depression era, like Louisiana area. It is one of my favorite musics to listen to when I'm in the mood for it, because again, it's not something you can eat all the time, right? Like it's not pizza. It's too rich for an everyday listen. But 16 horsepower, Sackcloth and Ashes is, by now it's probably a 30-year-old album because I'm a very old man. But I definitely recommend it to you specifically. That being said, if you disagree, you're wrong. What we've got up next for you is a submission by FDO. It is about a man named Jim with a very particular problem. I forget the genre of which I had this, or which he asked for, but it is definitely something. This one is one of the ones that took me a fuck ton of effort to get past, like the robot sensors, because I couldn't, like Suno said no every time, no. ChatGPT shut me down a few times too before I was able to get lyrics, and because Suno will take any lyrics, doesn't matter. You could write the F word 17,000 times, and they'll go sure.
Cool.
Can we burn that to a DVD and send it to Dustin?
A DVD, wrestling DVDs and digital audio recorders. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't worry about it, FDO. I was able to wrangle it. The one about the areolas, though, would not let me get through. Literally, no matter how I sliced it, they go, no, eat my ass, they said. They didn't actually say that. They're robots. They don't actually say things. But, yeah, it was kind of difficult to get through the censors on this one, but I was able to make it. So please take a listen to Jim's Peter.
Well, Jim was a man who once stood tall, had a waistline that didn't get in the way at all. He'd stand up straight with a confident grin, but now things have changed and he's wearing that chin. He remembers the days when he'd take a good look at the little Peter he had tucked in a nook. But now there's a belly that's grown far too wide, and Jim can't help but feel that old shame inside. Oh Jim, you weep in despair. Your little Peter's lost, it's no longer there. It's hidden cut. Oh Jim, you think back with a sigh to the days when your little Peter could reach the sky. Jim used to laugh, full of pride and cheer. He'd peek down and see what was always so near. But now he just sighs with a tear in his eye as the belly rolls over and he can't even try. He remembers the nights when he'd laugh and he'd dance, but now all he can do is just give it a glance. That little Peter's barely a shadow in sight, buried beneath layers that don't feel quite right. Oh Jim, you weep in despair. Your little Peter's lost, it's no longer there. It's hidden away in that oversized gut, and you can't even find it, no matter how much you cut. Oh Jim, you think back with a sigh to the days when your little Peter could reach the sky. He thinks of the times when he'd stand tall and proud. Now his belly just hangs and it's getting too loud. He wonders what happened, how did he lose track of the little man he once had. Now it's just looking back, but deep in his heart he knows it's still there. That little Peter's waiting, it's just in despair. So Jim takes a breath and wipes off his tears. He knows it's his journey, he's got no more fears. His little Peter's hiding, but it'll find its way. It just needs a little time, a little work each day. So don't give up hope, Jim, keep your head up high. Your little Peter's just waiting for the time to fly.
Now, FDO did not obviously mean for this to happen, but every time I tried to get this song pushed through, and especially now listening to it all the way through, it's Jim Roush, right? Like you guys, the FDO doesn't know, but everybody knows this is a song about Jim Roush. So, that being said, congratulations, you made it. We made it, right? No areolas, but we had Jim's Peter. Okay, so the next one is near and dear to my heart. So this one is a collabo, if you will, between me and Mr. Yabo. Because what Mr. Yabo was asking for was Bing Crosby butt chugging. So what I said to myself was, hey, Dave, you have a character that enjoys butt chugging. He has gone on many adventures and has a marvelous and fully fleshed out headcanon. So I took the concept from Mr. Yabo, inserted my character, used his genre as well, so it's not like I totally left him out in the rain. I will be taking producer credit on this one, though. So it's a little song about a character I made up many moons ago, along with Gina Fustamatelli, Italian butt detective,
Yep.
Adam Hubbard, ghost lobster detective, Andy the time-traveling incest lawyer. Yes, Brick, you have nailed it. This is a little song called Chuggington the Butt. And then I hit the wrong button. My mistake, guys. Give me 1 sec. I should have known that this was going to happen. I am angry at myself because here's the thing. Every time OBS has an update, shut up. Every time OBS has an update, it throws the whole show into a tailspin. So let me go ahead and get this into the right
that's
one.
DuckTales. Sorry.
Yeah, tailspin. Woo.
Sorry.
Good Lord, guys. She hasn't
I
even
heard
seen Little
DuckTales.
Monsters. Jesus Christ. So anyway, buckle up for a little thing called Chuggington the Butt.
There's a man in town, they all know his name, but Chuggington's the dude who's playing the game. He sneaks in the doors of Total Wine with a beer bong tucked and a devilish mind. He's pouring the Cabernet, Merlot, and more into his funnel, what's he got in store? Moscato and Pinot Grigio swirling around, but Chuggington's the king of this town. Oh, but Chuggington, he's the bane of the store, sneaking in the back and asking for more, mixing reds and whites in his bottomless cup. He don't care, he just wants to chug it up. The manager shakes his fist, get out of here. But Chuggington just laughs and sneers. Ain't I a stinker? He calls with a grin. And down the funnel, the wine pours in. He's the talk of the town, they all know his face, with a beer bong that's found in a very strange place. Total Wine's his playground, no bottle too fine. He's mixing up reds, whites all the time. He's sneaking and pouring, you know it's a show. No one can stop him wherever he goes. The manager's furious, but it's all in vain. But Chuggington's the wildest on the wine train. Oh, but Chuggington, he's the bane of the store, sneaking in the back and asking for more, mixing reds and whites in his bottomless cup. He don't care, he just wants to chug it up. The manager shakes his fist, get out of here. But Chuggington just laughs and sneers. Ain't I a stinker? He calls with a grin. And down the funnel, the wine pours in. Cabernet and Merlot, it's all the same. Moscato's in the mix, it's all part of the game. Pinot Grigio's coming down with a rush, but Chuggington's back, he's making a hush. He'll sneak around corners, he'll duck through the aisles with a wine-stained grin. He's bringing the smiles. Oh, but Chuggington, he's the bane of the store, sneaking in the back and asking for more, mixing reds and whites in his bottomless cup. He don't care, he just wants to chug it up. The manager shakes his fist, get out of here. But Chuggington just laughs and sneers. Ain't I a stinker? He calls with a grin. And down the funnel, the wine pours in. So if you're at Total Wine and you hear that sound, it's Chuggington sneaking all around, pouring his wine, having a blast, while the manager's shouting, but he's gone so fast. Ain't I a stinker? He'll shout with cheer. And Chuggington's gone till next time, my dear. So if you're at Total Wine and you hear that sound, it's Chuggington sneaking all around, pouring his wine, having a blast, while the manager's shouting, but he's gone so fast. Ain't I a stinker? He'll shout with cheer. And Chuggington's gone till next time, my dear.
Guys, that was Chuggington the Butt. And surprisingly, I had to rework that song a couple of times because Cabernet and Merlot, the AI voice kept wanting to pronounce them as written and not in the French way. So I had to fix that. Shut Buggington fucking cracked me up, Ryan. That was hilarious. So yeah, there's a little song about Butt Chuggington. He sneaks into Total Wines, and I mean, you heard the song. You know exactly what's going on with him. And he's been doing that for nigh on 10 years now, maybe 15. I'm an old man. Remember that. So what do we have next? This is a throwback track, if you will. It is a Viking rock. It was the genre. So it came out, I don't know, maybe this is Viking rock. I'm not a partaker of Viking rock, but it's about warriors fighting for a very familiar orange couch. So I invite you to listen to this song that is called Snick, all capitals, Warriors. Snick Warriors here on FFOP Radio.
Three treasure hunters, bold and free, set sail across the endless sea. Through storms and waves, they'd never tire, chasing a dream, their hearts on fire. They hiked the lands and crossed the plains, through deserts hot and freezing rain. But one treasure called, a myth untold, the big orange couch worth more than gold. They sailed the seas and hiked the lands, rode dragons high, entered the crypt, the air was thick with walls of slime and an ancient trick. In the center sat the couch of their dreams, orange and gleaming in the dimmest beams. But as they sat, their fate was sealed. Booby traps hidden, they'd never healed. Impaled by plugs, they screamed in pain, but the couch held them fast like chains. They sailed the seas and hiked the lands, rode dragons high with fire in their hands, in search of the couch, rare as the grail, the big orange treasure, they would not fail. But 33 years and they found their doom, in a slime-covered crypt that sealed their tomb. But the couch held tight, their bodies still trapped in that cursed night. Now their souls linger in that hidden space, bound to the couch, a forgotten place. So beware, ye hunters of treasures untold. Some are too mighty, some are too bold. For the big orange couch may seem like the prize, but it's a trap for the brave with no compromise. And the three men still wait, their fate's in the slime, on that cursed couch, frozen in time.
Guys, that was Snick Warriors. And you probably heard many entries on this list, and you probably have a list of your own. But if I ever get stupid rich, one of the things I'm going to just blow money on indiscriminately will be not one, but probably about 5 replicas of the big orange couch. Because I'm sure all the ones that were made and did exist during the Snick era are either threadbare and or full of semi-famous like B-level celebrity farts. I would like to have a fresh batch, if you know what I mean. Here's the thing. If the meadery takes off and you see me covered like dripping in gold, or like the tallest man in the world and I'm covered in gold like Homer, you will come into my shop and you will only have one option for seating. And that will be one of many Snick big orange couches. And also FDO. Yeah, this could definitely be like a punk rock, like a, Suno seems to love to like push out Warp Tour, like 2008 level Warp Tour. Look closer, Lenny. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, you're the biggest man in the world now, and you're coming. Was it 18 karat gold, 24 karat gold? That'll be me with my big orange couch. Except I'll have a fuck ton of them. Yeah. Get yourself a list of things you would spend a lot of money on if you got stupid rich. It helps get through the day. That being said, there you go. That's a little bit some throwback from the childhood. I don't know, man. Like something about the 90s was so welcoming. I don't know if it was the color palette. That's why we're all here. I don't know if it was the color palette. It was the insane design, like the paisley swirls and triangles. It was just something to behold. And that's why, if I'm stupid rich, a 1974 Ford Escort, cream accents on a baby blue, maybe metal flake baby blue paint job. Holy fuck. And then lots of the big orange couches. So there you go.
Tons.
Just so many. I say, you know what? Take one when you leave. I got them. I got 40 of them in the back. I'm rich as hell.
Rich in couches.
I'm rich in couches. Rich in Snick. That's what I want to be rich in only. I want to only be rich in Snick. That being said, the next one on our list is I believe it's our first one. Yes, that's our first one from Brick Newton. So this one, again, if you're not into the TCAP of it all, it reminds me a little bit of Cody Green, C. Greasy, if you will. Because he felt like a dude who came from the sticks to try and pass himself off as like an Eminem type figure. And what we have here is a country rap song. About an impressionable young youth comes from the country, obviously, to the city to make a big splash in the rap scene, I guess. I don't know. So this is a country rap. It is called From the Farm to the Streets. And then once again, this is coming to us from Brick Newton. So I hope you enjoy it here on FFOP Radio.
Well, a blonde-haired boy from a country town said, I'm moving to the city where the sun don't set down. Got his boots and his hat, but his mind was on the sound of the city streets, the beating where the power's found. He hit South Central with a southern drawl. People looking at him like, what you doing here, y'all? But he wasn't scared, though he took a few hits. Got jumped in the alley, left with bruises and splits. But he don't back down, he stands his ground with a banjo in his hand and a heart that sound. From the alleyways to the streetlights glow, he's gonna bring them together with that bluegrass flow. From the gangs to the streets where the tensions rise, he'll strum them together and open their eyes. Now the Bloods and Crips, they didn't know what to do when a country boy rolled up strumming something new. He pulled out his banjo, started picking it clean. Let's put down the guns, let's start a new scene. He rapped with the swagger of a southern dream, talking about struggle but also about team. From the gutter to the hills to the streets of LA, he showed them there's a better way to play. But he don't back down, he stands his ground with a banjo in his hand and a heart that sound. From the alleyways to the streetlights glow, he's gonna bring them together with that bluegrass flow. From the gangs to the streets where the tensions rise, he'll strum them together and open their eyes. And the bass kicks low, a little banjo and beat. Watch the magic flow. The Crips and the Bloods, they all start to see that bluegrass and rap's the way to be free. They're united by rhythm, by soul and by sound. Now the toughest crew in LA's got the crown. From the country to the city, they rise like kings. Their songs bring peace and the whole world sings. 'Cause they don't back down, they stand their ground with a banjo in their hands and love all around. From the alleyways to the streetlights glow, they came together through the music and now they know. From the gangs to the streets where the tensions rise, they're the most powerful force with their heads held high. So when you hear that banjo, just know it's the sound of a country boy in the city's underground. The blend of two worlds, now that's how we roll. Bluegrass rap forever in every heart and soul.
There you go, guys. I think I said from the country to the streets. That's wrong. It's actually called From the Farm to the Streets.
This reminds me of like new age country, like Jason Aldean and stuff, but like the way
Jelly Roll. I've never heard a song from Jelly Roll, but maybe also
Jelly
Post
Roll.
Malone.
But like Carrie Underwood sang a song where the hear the church bells ring or whatever, and she was very like she sang her song very much like this.
Yeah, like now that I'm like ingesting it fully and like sort of just living in the moment of it, it feels like what Chris Rock once. Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Rock.
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Not the guy who got slapped by Will Smith.
No, Kid
This
Rock.
is what Kid Rock wishes he could, but his shit is so fucking lazy. Like, ever since Chris Rock, God damn it, I'm going to do it all the time. Ever since Kid Rock left the stage because he wasn't getting enough applause, everybody finally got on the same page as me. There are a few things I was ahead of the curve on. I was on the cutting edge of, if you will. I always said Dane Cook sucked, and it took the rest of America 10 fucking years to pull their heads out of their ass and realize that. I've also been saying that about Kid Rock since day one. Like, he is someone that, I remember hearing this about Hootie and the Blowfish. Like, Hootie and the Blowfish was like a dive bar band that somehow made it big.
I thought they were great.
they're fine. They're not overly talented. They're not like super. I mean, they're definitely dyed in the wool 90s alternative, which is what I think they lived on. But like, Jesus Christ, my guys, like, why did I have to sit through so many fucking Dane Cook, Adam Sandler, Kid Rock, all these fucking talentless hacks? And I go, trust me, in 10 years, you'll look back and go, whoa, you were right, Dave. Story of my fucking life. Always right, never seen but in hindsight. I digress. I'm always fucking right is what I want you to take away from that. Kid Rock, what a piece of shit. Anyway, back at it. So this is one of my this submission. I was like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But it came through pretty fucking good. This is another FDO submission. It's a song about a man, maybe a kid, a man or a kid named Parker Peterson. I feel like you know where this is going. Right? Except I think he lives in Salt Lake City, if memory serves. So that being said, I will let it live in your ears and in your heart. This is a little song called The Arachnid Kid. And again, it's about Parker Peterson living in Salt Lake City. And we'll see you on the other side of this track here on FFOP Radio.
Parker Peterson was just a teen, living his life and chasing his dream. But one fateful day on a normal school run, a radioactive spider bit him in the sun. He felt a tingle, then a sudden burst, gained superpowers for better or worse. He could climb the walls, had strength to spare, but there was one gift that was beyond compare. Now he's the arachnid kid swinging through the sky, with butt webs shooting out. Oh my, oh my, oh my. He's got super strength and an extra sense, climbing walls and fighting crime with all his defense. He'll save Salt Lake City, no need to worry. He's the butt swinging hero in a flash of a hurry. Parker knew he had a job to do, to fight the bad guys and make them rue. With his butt webs ready, he'd start his quest, swinging through the city, putting villains to the test. But then one day in the sky so bright, a giant glass pan took a strange flight, and in it was a villain so sweet and strange, the peach cobbler with ice cream to exchange. Oh, the arachnid kid swinging through the sky, with butt webs shooting out. Oh my, oh my. Sure he's free. The peach cobbler flew with a smile so wide, hurling scoops of ice cream with no place to hide. Innocent folks were running in fright, but arachnid kid swung in, ready to fight. With his butt webs out, he caught him midair. The peach cobbler was caught with no way to repair. Now the arachnid kid, he saved the day, swinging through Salt Lake in a powerful way. With butt webs shooting out and strength in his hand, he'll stop all the villains across the land. And the peach cobbler thrown into jail was no match for the arachnid kid's butt swinging tail. So when you're in trouble or need a good fight, look up to the sky and you'll see his might. The arachnid kid with his butt web so grand, he's the hero Salt Lake City can always stand, fighting crime with a web and a smile on his face. The arachnid kid's here to keep us all safe.
FFOP Radio, that was the Arachnid Kid. And here's the thing, I ran this one, I was telling FDO several times, trying to get a Dick Dale and the Deltones type feel, Surf rock maybe isn't popular enough for people to have asked for it. Like, smooth jazz totally works. New metal is getting really good at. Country and bluegrass and folk obviously are fucking one of Suno's
best
jams. Yeah, surf rock, and I'm actually super duper surprised at the '80s goth rock submission that we got from Brick back in the last show, because like that's one of my favorite songs. So like how why are dreams better than real life?
Oh yeah,
One of my favorites. But yeah, I was hoping for more of like a. I mean, you guys know Dick Dale and the Deltones. I mean, if you've ever heard any surf music, it's been Dick Dale and the Deltones.
yeah.
So that being said, that one didn't come out too bad. I did like the butt web. Obviously, you guys know I'm a fan of butts. If you haven't picked that up by now, like where have you been? So there you go. That being said, this next one has another very close to my heart. Obviously, you guys have a finger on my pulse of pop cultural love. So this is a submission from Ryan. It's about the salad bar that used to be at Wendy's. But, back in the 90s, everybody had a salad bar. And
Yep.
some people lived and died by it. The Sizzler, to be specific. The Sizzler had, we've talked about it before, I'm not going to get into it again too much, but the Sizzler had a salad bar second to none. And it wasn't like an old country buffet or hometown whatever or Luby's. It was like a real salad bar. There was no meat carving station. It was mostly just stuff that was cold that you would pile on your plate, like drown in ranch dressing, and just hear your arteries clog through the connection to your inner ear canal. So that being said, this is a little song. Ryan gave us a submission. Again, I forget the style or the genre or whatever, but it doesn't matter because the point is I liked it enough to keep it, and I had to run it a couple of times.
It's gonna be country.
I hope it isn't. That's the thing. I'm just, you can take for granted most of these are probably country, but this is a little title, or a little track rather, titled Lettuce, spelled like the vegetable, lettuce, remember the bar. About the Wendy Salad Bar, and you'll be, with us through the whole thing, I hope, and we'll be back on the other side here on FOP Radio.
I saw the light in the corner glow. Endless screens where dreams would flow. Croutons waiting in a golden sea. Oh, that salad bar meant the world to me. Ooh. Iceberg hearts and bacon bits. Endless options, no food limits. A whispered breeze of ranch divine. Gone but forever etched in time. Let us remember the bar we lost. Boundless glory, no matter Let us remember the bar we mourn, where fresh beginnings were always born. We dressed our sorrows in ranch and zest. Dear salad bar, you were the best.
Guys, there it is. That was Let Us Remember the Bar on FFOP Radio. Really quick, too. Not for nothing, but living through the time that I did, salad bars, again, being the king of, like, before the all-you-can-eat and yada, yada, yadas. Disagree if you must, but you'll be wrong. Salads, to me, light, crispy, fresh. I always had my salad paired with Italian, oil and vinegar, something light. I get the people who like French, Thousand Island, ranch, blue cheese, but every time I would watch someone do that, I would go, what the fuck, right? Like, I don't know. To me, I
like both.
Savory, I wanted a steak. Savory, I wanted something drenched in butter and garlic and etc. For a salad, I always wanted to go to the salad for some brightness, for some palate cleansing, which is why I always went with oil and vinegar and or Italian. Because I would always sit down to a nice meal, shrimp, back when I ate pasta, something heavy with butter and garlic and steak and etc. Huge, fat, like blob sitting there on my plate. And I go, whoa, this is getting a little too much. It's like wine pairing. I would go to the salad for relief. It's like when you smell coffee beans when you're buying fragrances at a Macy's or a JCPenney's. Do those exist anymore? If you were buying fragrances, they would sometimes shove some coffee beans in your nose to go like, here, cleanse your palate.
Yeah.
And I went, how dare you? That's why I would always go like, I want something light for my salad. I grew up in a family full of morbid obese people who would walk away from every salad like my kid walks away from any interaction with chocolate. Just all over their face, caked in it.
And shirt.
Huge grandma bingo wings. Everybody, I just go like, God damn it, guys. Like,
I mixed
can you
it up.
find a single outlet on your dinner table that wasn't caked in trash?
Yeah, I would do both, like not at the same time, obviously, but like depending on what I was eating with a salad, I would have Italian or I would have ranch.
Well, like, maybe you're just having a salad, right? I get that. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
there's room for error in this equation because, like, let's say you're just having a salad. I
Right.
could see you wanting to bulk it up with a ranch, with a Thousand Island,
Yeah.
with a blue cheese, with a French, whatever.
You don't want
People
friends
are
with salad.
disgusting. Yeah, you don't win friends with salad. That's why it's always something. You know, you invite them over for the steak, and you go, "Hey, we got salad too, oil and vinegar, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Keep
Italian,
it light,
whatever.
motherfuckers."
Yeah.
You have a chef salad. It's covered in egg and turkey and ham and shit. I get that. You want something that'll stick to your ribs. Like you go to like I don't know if you're in the neighborhood of this franchise, but Salad and Go, the drive-through salad place. I still get the lighter dressings because I want it to be fresh and light. It's me. I'm a light guy. I'm fun. I'm exciting.
He's a lightweight.
I'm a lightweight. I like light salads because that's I pack the fat into things that I know are going to be, based on today's interpretation of science, better for me. I'm
Right.
not going to load up like with carbs and shit and then eat like something that's drowning in canola oil and buttermilk. Mm-hmm. But whatever. You do you. I'm just saying, if you want to live right, do what I tell you. That being said, let's move on to the next track. So, once again, thank you, Ryan, for the throwback to the Wendy's salad bar. I miss salad bars in general. But, I don't go out to eat much anymore. And I'll be damned if I'm going to go to, like, a buffet-style restaurant. If Sizzler makes a return to its former glory, which won't, you'll find me there. I don't know about the Wendy's salad bar. I mean, maybe because like you have to keep in mind, you have to adjust for inflation and lower quality product standards of the day. We're never going to see, like, no pun intended, the salad days of the salad bar again. But let's move on. This next one, another one, classic guy. This is like the what would you call it? The greatest hits of the 90s is what we're listening to. So maybe you know a little product. It's been on the market for a few years. It's a salsa from San Antonio. Used to be from San Antonio. It's somewhere else in Texas now. God knows. It's probably from the Dallas-Fort Worth area now. I forget. But there was a time, guys, when if you were cooking food for cowboys, murder was a fitting punishment.
It was on the table.
It was on the table in addition to the steak and the salad. If you gave them something not from the Southwest, and I get it, people from the East, they don't know shit about spicy foods. They're fucking insane. Old Bay seasoning. They like American cheese in their quesadillas. They don't know shit about dick out East. And so I get it. So if someone gave me something and it said from New York City, I'd probably want to kill them too. But I'm not a murderer, according to some. But yeah, that's the thing. Pace picante sauce. It's one
Paris,
of those things
Texas.
that you need in your life if you haven't had it yet. Now, whatever.
Mine is
Personally,
better.
I'm not a fan of pasteurized and or cooked salsas, which by necessity of shipping nationwide, you have to do. When I want salsa, I'll make it fresh. And it's nice and light and bright and it's delicious, like a fresh green salad with Italian dressing, right? Olive oil and vinegar, not canola oil. Don't do yourself that disservice. But this is a little song about a man named Cookie who, he meets a pretty grisly fate. And I think you see where I'm going with this. But let's go ahead and take a listen. This is another FDO submission. It's a little song I like to call, what the hell do I call it? Cookie's Pace. I think you see the pun and or the reference there. So I'll see you on the other side.
Well, my name's Cookie. I'm the cook out here in the old Southwest where the desert's near. I cook for the men, keep their bellies full. No matter the weather, I always pull through. I got my pots and pans, my fire and my knife. I keep them all fed, it's my way of life. I carry a jar of salsa, my secret in the pack. 'Cause store-bought's quick, and it won't turn back. But one night it happened, a change in my fate. Ran out of the usual, and I was late. I grabbed another salsa, thought it'd do just fine. Didn't know it'd lead to this fate of mine. They said, this ain't Pace, what's the deal with you? And I never saw it coming, no, I never knew. I stirred the pot, thought I was safe and sound, but then came the grumbling all around. Cookie, what's this? They all began to cry. This ain't the Pace. Why'd you let this slide? I said it's salsa, it's all the same to me. But they weren't having it, no, they didn't agree. One man picked it up and he looked real close, and when he saw where it came from, he started to roast. They said, this ain't Pace, what's the deal with you? And I never saw it coming, no, I never knew. It's made in New York, that's a damn disgrace. You can't cook for us if you can't keep pace. Well, I tried to explain, but they wouldn't listen. I said I didn't know, it's just salsa I'm missing. But they looked at me cold and then they started to shout, Cookie, you've gone and sold us out. They tied me up in the dead of the night. My fate was sealed under that moon's cold light. For one little salsa from a distant land, I was hanged by the men I thought I'd stand. They said, this ain't Pace, what's the deal with you? And I never saw it coming, no, I never knew. It's made in New York, that's a damn disgrace. You can't cook for us if you can't keep pace. So if you're cooking in the Southwest and you're working your craft, you better stick to the sauce or it might be your last laugh. 'Cause in the wild out here, they take food real serious. And if it ain't Pace, pecan a slip up could bring a mighty strange change.
FFOP Radio, that was Cookie's Pace. So a couple of things to address. I want to, FDA, Old Bay seasoning is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing shade at Eastern flavors. Eastern of the United States, obviously. The problem is they don't know shit about spice. They don't know shit about dick when it comes to caliente, as we call it here in the Southwest. Old Bay seasoning, yes, good. Here's the problem also with Pace Picante sauce. For whatever reason, they offer a mild, which is tomato sauce with chunks of cooked shit in it. Fucking terrible. Medium barely passes muster. What you want is hot. And here's the thing. Because they have to pasteurize it because they ship it across the country, and if you're like me, you don't essentially want to eat like cooked spicy minestrone minus the noodles. Do yourself this favor. If someone brings you Pace, I don't buy Pace anymore. Thank God. I've grown above and I make my own salsa.
We're past that stage.
I'm past that stage, sir. Do yourself this favor. Throw it into a blender or a food processor and make it a smooth consistency. Because I think what, at least to me and maybe to you too, the issue is the bizarre texture of the cooked peppers and tomatoes and onions, because they feel very, I don't want to say gritty, but like they're very, like the skin is weird, the texture is bizarre, and it's fucking terrible.
Then the liquid part of it just seems really wet.
Yeah. So throw it into a blender, get it all mixed up, and then you're smooth sailing. Like, Pace is on point flavor-wise once you get everything in the mix.
Yeah.
But since they probably have to make it in like 17,000-gallon vats, it's not good. Like, it's not what we all want as millennials and possibly Gen Zers. Small batch, what else are the buzzwords? Not heirloom, but like boutique style, whatever.
Sure.
Do that with your Pace. Liquefy it, blend it up, get it nice and smooth, pour it on something. Then you're not stuck with like these horribly overcooked peppers and onions that just taste like trash. Because it's just like, what were you thinking, guys? Like, sure, San Antonio knows how to make salsa, but then they had to cook it. It's fucked. Don't cook your salsa. It should be fresh. But fresh squeeze of lime and lemon keeps the bacteria at bay, because citrus, as we all know, basically takes care of things for a while, not forever, obviously. But like your jalapenos, your cilantro, your red or your white onions, either will do. Throw a habanero in there if you got the balls. But plenty of salt, just a little bit of cilantro, because I understand it tastes like soap to some people. I'm not overly in love with the flavor.
Yeah.
However, it does play a role and needs to be there.
I put jalapenos, habaneros, and serrano peppers in our salsa.
Thank you. Here, FDO, coming in with the clutch. Yeah, I know I'm always right. It's just sometimes I have to wait 10 years for people to look back and go like, hey, Dave. And I go, yeah, I know. I was there the whole time, knowing I was right. You don't have to tell me. But yeah, do that. But don't do that unless, like, find the time. Get the cilantro, get the tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes. I don't care which. They all work in their own way.
Yeah. What bothers me, and now that we're talking about salsa, what bugs me about when you buy cilantro is you buy it in such a large amount. You throw out so much of it because you barely use any of it.
But cilantro is so cheap. It's like, at the most I've ever seen, it's like 79 cents for a bunch the size of your fucking head.
Yes.
And you need essentially 3 fingers pinch worth.
Right. You're just throwing the rest out.
Right. So there's got to be a way to like compost it, or like with banana peel water that you like, there's ways to get around the waste of just like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look into it if you want. I don't give a fuck. It's 79 cents. I take the pinch. The rest can go fuck itself. I got exactly what I needed. Do yourself the favor. All right. So, again, Pace Picante sauce, good in the clutch. But I think out here, is it Hernandez? They make a good salsa. Their green salsa, their tomatillo. Whoo!
Herdez. It's Herdez, I think. Herdez.
Whatever it is. Here in the Southwest, we're spoiled for choice. Like, all of our local grocery stores have a million locally sourced salsa companies, so you don't have to like slum it.
If you ever visit our fine establishment, I will make homemade salsa just for you because I cannot give it to everybody.
Yeah, it's a fucking travesty that people out there just don't know. And here's the thing: I visited the East Coast on multiple occasions. I've been to Pennsylvania, all over, and they claim to have Mexican food. They don't. They're fucking liars. They are liars. That's all I can say about that. Moving on from Pace Picante back to a well-trodden ground. This is a first, I believe, in genre at least. This is a little. So what Ryan wanted, he's the submission of the idea here, is like a Family Guy style cutaway song, a polka, about Chris Hansen and all the shit that he gets up to, polka style. So I said, yeah, I'm down for brand new genres. We have not had a polka, so please buckle up. It's not.
We tried polka.
Yeah, it's not a great polka, obviously. It's a Suno style polka, but it is the Chris Hansen polka that basically gets you clued in on all the stuff you might have missed if you weren't a TCAP fan. So please check this out.
Well, here comes Chris Hansen in his suit so fine, looking for some predators who cross the line. With a camera rolling and a clipboard in hand, he's catching them all and they don't understand. They think they got game, they think they got style, but Chris is here to make them run a mile. He says, take a seat, let's have a chat. And suddenly those predators don't know where they're at. Oh, Chris Hansen's got the moves, he's got the groove, catching them all with his calm, cool proof. No riz, no game, no charm at all.
You don't have riz.
When he steps in the room, they're bound to fall. Oh, they ain't got a clue, they're out of luck. Chris Hansen's here to show them they're just stuck. They thought they were sly, they thought they were smooth, but when Chris shows up, they can't make a move. He's got 'em on camera with nowhere to hide. They're all tripping up, caught in their lies. No riz to save 'em, no pickup lines,
You don't have
just
riz.
awkward silence and a ton of crimes. They thought they were clever, but it's clear to see Chris Hansen's got them, it's a guarantee. Oh, Chris Hansen's got the moves, he's got the groove, catching them all with his calm, cool proof. No riz, no game, no charm at all. When he steps in the room, they're bound to fall. Oh, they ain't got a clue, they're out of luck. Chris Hansen's here to show 'em they're just stuck. They thought they could charm their way to the top, but Chris Hansen's here, he's gonna make 'em stop. With no riz, no finesse, no smooth talking spin,
You don't have
it's
riz.
over for them and that's where we begin. Oh, Chris Hansen's got the moves, he's got the groove, catching them all with his calm, cool proof. No riz, no game, no charm at all. When he steps in the room, they're bound to fall. Oh, they ain't got a clue, they're out of luck. Chris Hansen's here to show 'em they're just stuck. So if you think you can slip by with some charm and grace, remember Chris Hansen's gonna put you in your place. No riz, no tricks, just a man with a plan, catching those predators and showing they can't stand.
FFOP Radio, that was the Hanson Polka, and maybe you can see now about when Suno decided everything should be country. Because an accordion in a country song, I would not consider a polka, but it
I mean,
fucking decided it
Yeah.
was.
yeah.
But if you haven't already, subscribe to True Blue because the most hilarious episode of God, what is it now? Not Have a Seat, not Come On Down, but
Takedown.
Takedown. Yes, Takedown. If you're in the Discord, you know what I'm talking about. But he was gonna eat that ass. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Well, there he is, Mr. Yabo himself.
Hey,
Happy Creative.
boo.
Welcome to the show. Appreciate it. So there you go. That's the Chris Hansen polka. So far from polka, I would say not even, right? That was a country song that they put a fucking accordion in. Steve Urkel would be like, what is this? What is this? He would say. They say, remember when for a hot minute, Steve Urkel talked about cheese. It was like for barely the first season he talked about cheese. My dad always, when I was watching Family Matters, right, through the entire 12 seasons of its run, and my dad caught me watching Family Matters, he would go, got any cheese? And I go, Dad,
That was season 1.
10 years ago that was. Please get over it. But that being said, moving on. Now, this is something, Matt, again, he was the submitter rather, of this idea. Took a little shit. It's not 2009, but I do love a good Chuck Norris reference. I do love a good Chuck Norris joke because the co-host of mine, I guess I would be the co-host and he's the co-host because it's his show on his channel, Scott Doc Vaughn, Raiders of the Lost Genre. I brought them up before. We are always doing Chuck Norris jokes to one another. It's kind of fallen off as the days have gone farther and farther away from 2009. And I realize it's been so long now that Chuck Norris just turned 85 today.
Oh my God. When wasn't that he and was that Firewalker? Was that the one that you guys did?
Firewalker. If you've seen Raiders of the Lost Genre, we reviewed Firewalker with Lou Gossett Jr. and holy shit. I believe Billy from Predator is in that shit as the bad guy. Needed some tits, I'll be honest with you. It needed to be over PG. I believe it was a canon film. And he wanted to, whatever. Watch that episode. That being said, I tried to get a little something going about Chuck Norris, about the jokes of Chuck Norris. So what we're going to be hearing now, not only is the song, but a little preamble as if you are seeing this or hearing this live. So imagine yourself in a smoky nightclub. Golan Globus. That's right. Golan Globus,
Yeah.
not Canon. Canon was later for the Norse Meister. But so just imagine you're in a smoky club. You're in a dive bar. You're drinking a Coors. You probably not a Keystone, maybe a Bud Light. And the band hits the stage and they go, hey, guess what? This song, it's called The Chuck. So there's going to be a little preamble to sort of get you in the mood. So let's see, where did I put it? Did I lose it? There it is. Okay, so this is a little song called The Chuck. It's about Chuck Norris and his many exploits. So I hope you enjoy it, even though it's about 14 years too late. We'll see you right on the other side of this after The Chuck, FFOP Radio.
Sure, here's a fun rock song inspired by Chuck Norris and some of the popular Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris rocks! He walked into the bar, the air turned to gold. With a roundhouse kick, he breaks the mold. When Chuck Norris jokes spread like wildfire, meteors fear his battle cry, fueling the fire. Oh, Chuck Norris rocks in his denim blue. He doesn't do push-ups, he pushes the earth too. When he blinks, the world just stands still. Legends are born with each kick and thrill. When he's in town, he doesn't wear a watch, he beats time down. He can
No songs about
divide
Steven
by
Seagal.
zero and make it look cool. When lightning strikes, it fears
Norris rocks in his denim blue. He doesn't need a map, he knows it all too. With a leap and a bound, he conquers the night. So raise your fists for the legend, the ultimate knight. So here's to the man with strength and with grace. In the world of legends, he's always first place. From jokes to the moves, he's a myth that Paul Spot. Forever in our hearts, Chuck Norris rocks.
Guys, that was a little track called The Chuck, brought to us by Matt. So I'm going to share with you my favorite Chuck Norris joke. This is the one I tell above all others. Chuck Norris, did you know that Chuck Norris takes a baseball bat with him into the bathroom for fear he may shit a wildcat and have to beat it to death? It's true. It's true. So, but here's the thing. Of the two Chucks out there, Chuck Bronson, Chuck Norris, I go Bronson. Because although, what was it, Invasion USA and all the canon and the Golden Globus movies that Chuck did, nothing holds a candle to the Death Wish septilogy. It's 5 movies.
What's the Walker Texas Ranger? My dad used to watch that.
Yeah, when Haley Joel Osment was like, haha, Walker says I have AIDS. Yeah, Silent Rage, Invasion USA, Firewalker, all the Chuck Norris, like, but that's the thing. Right, not many people call Charles Bronson Chuck Bronson. I just, sometimes I do because it's easier. But yeah, Charles Bronson had the stash. He had the terrible 70s dry look hair. But Jesus Christ, you pull a shirt off of either one of those men in like 1983, I would go Bronson over Norris every time.
Well, now I need to compare chests.
I just wanted to visit Bronson, Missouri. Hey, Mom. Anyway, guys, yeah, so that was Chuck Norris, or rather, The Chuck, brought to us by Matt. So do yourself a favor. I don't have a link for it right now, but go over to Scott Vaughn's channel or just type in Raiders of the Lost Genre in the search bar. Watch the episode of Firewalker, in which I am in. I am in all of those episodes. You'll enjoy it. And remember, I'm always right. This ain't over. Nice. Yeah. Hilarious. I fucking love it. And don't forget, like, he started out as like a cowboy. Like, he was in Have Gun Will Travel with Richard Boone, one of my favorite actors of all time.
Charles Bronson was?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was all over the place. He was in oh god damn, what was that other one? Like, he plays a harmonica. It's so fucking good. Moral of the story is Richard Boone, one of the best, like, most progressive actors. Like, when it came down to, like, I mean, in
He
context,
aged terribly.
Aged terribly, but like, Have Gun Will Travel. Richard Boone was always on the side of women, always on the side of minorities. He was always the man with the level head. Mm-hmm. And that's why Charles Bronson was his best friend in one of those episodes.
In one episode.
Got it all on DVD, guys. What is that? DVD. DVD, CDs, they're all the same to me. I use them interchangeably. But yeah, do yourself a favor. If you like Westerns, or even if you don't like Westerns, check out Have Gun Will Travel, because Paladin is the badass you want to see in every movie. It's just he's in a TV show, and it's called Have Gun Will Travel.
Yeah.
He lives in San Francisco. He lives in a hotel with Hey Boy, his Chinese immigrant.
Hey boy.
Yeah, hey boy. Fucking great. Doesn't treat him like a subhuman like everybody else. Does some errands for him, like saves his fucking sister from like indentured servitude. Classic. Anyway, enough about that. We're moving on to Krista's submission.
Oh.
This, it's called Chasing Neon Dreams. I believe it's akin to Brick Newton's suggestion, where I believe you're running from reality.
Something like that. I don't
Something
remember.
along those lines. Krista can't remember, but it's I forget what genre I landed on, but that being said, watch something with Richard Boone. I suggest The Last Dinosaur. Jameson, if you're out there, you're wrong. That is not a boring movie, and how dare you? But this is a little track called Chasing Neon Dreams, submitted by prompt. Submitted
Oh, yeah.
by Krista.
Escaping reality on a road trip at night.
Yeah, so check it out, and we'll see you right after this. FFOP Radio.
Neon light streets in the city tonight. I'm on fire. My mind's always running overtime, running wild. Blacked out with the skyline. Blacked out with the skyline. I can't stop 'cause this shit's too fun. I move fast, now I might have jumped the gun. Moves fast when you're trying to chase the sun. Takes off when you're riding with the eject. See, I jumped out when I almost lost myself. Chasing dreams in my dream. You were there but nowhere else. When I fall, get up and go again. I'm back on the road again. Check. See, I jumped out when neon light streets in the city tonight. I'm on fire. My mind's always running overtime, running wild. Blacked out with the skyline. Blacked out with the skyline. I can't stop 'cause this shit's too fun. I move fast, now I might have jumped the gun, yeah. Moves fast when you're trying to chase the sun. Takes off when you're riding with the jet. See, I jumped out when I almost lost myself. Chasing dreams in my dream. You were there but nowhere else. When I fall, get up and go again. I'm back on the road again. And check. See, I jumped out when
FFOP Radio. That was Chasing Neon Dreams, once again by Krista. But let's talk about Have Gun Will Travel just a little bit. Have Gun Will Travel reads the card of a man. He was a knight without armor in a savage land. And Mr. Yabo, I hope you saw this episode where, like, you know, maybe this is pertinent or not, but now that we're talking about this, let's talk about it. Like this father, or this dude, you know, he's the father. This dude sends for Paladin, you know, wire San Francisco, gets him out there. He goes, you have to go kill my son. He's half Injun, they called it. They couldn't, you know, it was still the fucking 60s. But he was half Native American, half white. And, like, he wanted to kill his dad, so the dad hired Paladin to protect him from the sun and all this stuff. And, like, Paladin comes in and he's like, yo, man, like, this is your fucking son. I don't care what he's half of or what he's not half of. Like, what the fuck, you guys? He's like, let's come together and hug it out, bitch. And, of course, one of them has to get shot in the gut and die. But, you know, we all learned a little bit about ourselves and each other. And those are the friends that we learned along the way.
He only saw Stand By Me.
Dude, you have, like, I'm a big proponent of Pluto TV. I brought it up before. You can watch Supermarket Sweep whenever you fucking want.
Yes.
And tons of Legends of the Hidden Temple and Guts. But beside the point, on the Western channel, when it's not like Bonanza or Rawhide, tons of Have Gun Will Travel plays constantly. I've got the DVD box set now, so I'm not worried about it. But a great place to see that all for free. You just have to see the commercials. But hey, guess what? Back in the fucking day, we had to turn on our TV and watch commercials without a skip function.
It's true.
And our TVs were 3 feet deep.
Get your Advil, guys.
Get your, oh, my back. Alka-Seltzer. Others, you know?
Others.
So that, but anyway, moral of the story was Chasing Neon Dreams. It's a story about
That was
Have Gun Will
good.
Travel. Okay, so next, I got a little self-serving. Now, I forget who submitted the idea. I'm going to think it's probably FDO. But if you remember in one of these first 2 episodes, I am in love with RC Cola, but it becomes to the point of infatuation, and I become a murderer. So I thought, well, maybe we should revisit that. So in this song called Blue Cans, Blue Cans, you know, I love RC Cola, not as much as Jarritos, but don't let them know that. Jarritos with 2 R's, double R with the R.
I can't make that sound.
Story about me falling in love with RC Cola, but also being a murderer, fictionally. And I hope you enjoy it. So this is Blue Cans on FFOP Radio. We'll see you right after this.
RC Cola was top to Dave. You couldn't get him away from it. I might have a Coca-Cola, but he wouldn't think of it. See, if you don't get his thrill, he'll pull out a makeshift gun. It would be enough to kill a weak man. But I still love him 'cause he gives me blue cans. He can make me laugh with his blood-stained hands. See, I still love him 'cause he gives me blue cans. He just went mad and he doesn't understand. Feels like all the time lost the plot, but I can't be mad when he gave me what I got. Doesn't faze at all, I've got to hold on. It hurts but the pain won't stop, and I think he's not in love with me, especially me. So I put poison in his blue can. He holds his stomach with his gun in his hands. See, I tried to love him 'cause he gave me blue cans. He just went mad and he couldn't understand. But I still love him 'cause he gives me blue cans. He can make me laugh with his blood-stained hands. See, I tried to love him 'cause he gave me blue cans. He just went mad and he couldn't understand.
FFOP Radio. That was Blue Cans, a little song about a man named Dave who was a murderer, all for the love of RC Cola. So there you go. There's that.
There's that.
There's that. What else can I say about it? If you guys don't love RC Cola, at least get yourself some Jarritos. I don't know where you can find their cola, but Jesus Christ, is it tasty. Now, you know, because this came up in the Discord too. Mexican cola better or worse? I say worse. I mean, we all know what Coke tastes like, whether it's Mexican cola or the stuff produced in the States with the high fructose corn syrup. We all know the flavor. Jarritos brings a south of the border kick that you can only find in a paste picante sauce. And I think you guys will enjoy it if you can find it. I get the glass bottles, cane sugar, pop the cap. Jesus, it's so delicious. Anyway, but I don't want to put the shade on them because Jarritos would never make you a murderer. RC Cola might, because, you know, with the crown and all the issues regarding the levels of society that come with a monarchy, Jarritos is the soda of the people.
FDO says, I can hear that being a real song about an alcoholic husband. Blue can being Bud Light, obviously.
Right, yeah. So that, when that came up, I was like, I did think about Bud Light when that came out too. So yes, FDO, not off the mark for sure. That being said, let's move on. This is another submission from Krista. This is called Whispers on the River, and I believe the river had secrets of the past or something along those lines.
It was like a haunted river.
Yeah, it was a So a haunted river that I forget the storyline, the through line. A lot of this is escaping me now because.
But the genre I didn't know, so I put Dealer's Choice.
Yeah, I forget what I picked, but I hope you enjoy it. This is a song about a haunted river and
ghosts.
It's called Whispers of the Past. Ghosts, spooky. We have a haunted meadery. Come on down, get spooked out by a ghost. Whispers of the Past. No, sorry, Whispers on the River is the name of the song. See you after this.
Summer days and drunken nights, lakes, red boats, and secret nights. On a Sunday afternoon, a sundress would look good on you. Now there are whispers on the river, whispers on the river, whispers on the river, whoa. Dice and beers and sweet perfume, unicorns and butterflies. On an autumn afternoon, I wonder if you're eating right. I hear whispers on the river, whispers on the river, whispers on the river, whoa. I guess forever always ends when somebody thinks they're in love, and I guess someday we'll be friends. When you find a man you think is good enough, when life gets hard, just don't give up. They saw her on the river, lying on her own, straight into her lover's arms, straight to the bottom of his heart. Life gets hard, just don't give up. They saw her on the river, lying on her own, straight into her lover's arms, straight to the bottom of his heart.
FFOP Radio, that was Whispers on the River. A little abstract lyrically, but you know, not a bad tune. It was also a sea shanty. I remembered as soon as it started playing, I tried to make it a sea shanty. The-
It wasn't that bad. I have to say, I have 3, like, out of all the ones that we've made in the past, I have 3 favorite songs that I always want to, like, come up on rotation when I'm driving out to the building. And one of them is the Popeye one.
The Popeye, what was the name of it? It's like the one where he goes to Sweet Haven. Not where he joins the Navy, but the Popeye who comes to Sweet Haven, basically the one based on the movie.
With Robin Williams, yeah.
Plot came out banger.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Sometimes, like with the Butt Plug Professionals from 1895, that song, despite how hilarious it is regarding anal leakage, solid musically.
Yeah.
That being said, guys, here we are. We're at the finale. I saved this one for the last. For many reasons. Not only because I thought of it at the last, but it's a little self-serving. It's one I came up with myself. It's based on a story I've told dozens of times before, if not hundreds. I'm going to share you a quick synopsis of it. Back in the day, probably 15, 20 years ago, I was an electrician. And the company I worked for, we landed a contract with a bank here in Arizona. And they wanted us to retrofit all of their branches with a new high-tech HVAC control system. I was working low voltage at the time. For those of you uninitiated, some people will say low voltage is the 110 or the 120 lines. High voltage is the 240. What I am referring to is we were running control, so it was anywhere between 15 volts and 5 and 15 volts, essentially. So we went every week. We were in a different town. Went to Yuma, went to Parker, went to Payson, went to Bisbee, all the small towns here in Arizona that had a bank branch of this variety. We set up with this new control system that would blah, 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 efficiency and yada, yada, yada. However, the coworker I had at the time, my partner, if you will, solid dude, aside from just being a sort of low rent, white trash sort of guy, solid, always like was there for me when I needed him, good worker. We had a good relationship. That being said, everywhere we went, he was trolling Plenty of Fish to bring a skag back to our hotel room. And in most cases, I would fuck off somewhere else while he banged them in our hotel room. However, this was in Yuma, the story I'm about to talk about. We were finishing up. We had a week to do the job. So what we would do is we would bust our ass Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, coast Thursday and Friday so that we could get shit-faced at a local dive bar. So what happened was that plan went off without a hitch. We went to Parker, Snowflake, all over the place. But this time was different in Yuma. Instead of bringing one of his Plenty of Fish skags, and there's another story I can tell you in Parker where he got a girl off of Plenty of Fish who brought her mom, a dude friend, and enough coke to kill all 3 of them. And the dude always wanted, like, he was talking about an orgy. It was us, me and my coworker, 2 dudes, him, a dude, and 2 females, a woman and her mother. Dude's like, when's the orgy? And way too much, like, referencing it to be like a joke. Dude wanted to see my dick, I feel. Moral of the story is, this was not that. Because I knew this bitch was coming out because he said, I met this chick on Plenty of Fish. She's coming out. I'm going to go bang her in the hotel room. I said, great. I'll be here at the casino drinking free drinks.
Yeah.
So he banged her in a hotel room that smelled like curry because the man who owned the establishment was Indian, and we shared a door to the main office where he made all of his food. Not what happened here. Went to Yuma, went to this dive bar. They said, last call. They kicked my ass out the front door. I lost where he was. So I was sitting, this is where I saw the lady fight, where I was like shit-faced, sitting on the curb. These bitches go, bitch, bitch, and they were hitting each other. One lady pulled her heel off, smacked the other bitch in the head, blood went everywhere, whatever. But there was a food truck that made really great street tacos. We get back to our establishment, taking a taxi, of course, because we were both shit-faced. The girl comes with us. She proceeds to spill all of her food all over my bed. Grease stains ruled the night as far as my bed is concerned. And then when the lights went out, they started fucking 24 inches from my head. Was awkward. I was too drunk to move, couldn't do anything about it. I was incredibly angry, but again, so drunk, couldn't do anything about it. I could not work my vocal cords. All I could do was lay there and just absorb the fact that a man I worked with was fucking a stranger.
Right there.
Inches away, not feet, inches. At some point, I was able to rally and grab my iPod, because that's how old I am. I grabbed my iPod with my corded earbuds, stuck them in, hit play on whatever was there, and I go, oh, thank God. And I was able to fall asleep. Did not fix the smell of the room. I also did go to, Bisbee has electricity. Can you believe it?
Yeah. People live there.
People live there. They have indoor plumbing and everything. But this was the only time that I ever saw a man IRL have sex that wasn't on a computer screen or any other, like on a VHS cassette tape. You know how y'all enjoy corn. God damn it. I was so... You have no idea. I'm an angry guy already. A lot of stuff just gets under my skin. I can't think of anything that made me angrier than having to share a hotel room with someone who was actively fucking a stranger so close to my face that I was in the splash zone, literally. So this is a little song about that. It's called Dave's Hotel Hell. It's the last song of Total Request AI. I hope you enjoy it. We'll be back after this, say goodbye, and everything after this, so enjoy.
And Dave was working out of town all week long, wiring up the lights and the power real strong. The job was done, they wrapped it tight, and Dave and his buddy hit the bar that night. The beers were cold and the jukebox played. They clinked their glasses, toasting to the tray. But when the night was over and the fun was done, that's when the story of Dave's trouble begun. Oh, Dave's hotel room, it's a tale so wild. He was trying to sleep, but his buddy got wild. A woman came in and the bed started to shake, and poor old Dave just lay there awake. The smells filled the air, but he couldn't leave. He was drunk as a skunk, stuck there to grieve. Oh, Dave's hotel room, that was up at night. He'll be thinking about it when the morning light. His buddy wasn't shy, he made his move, pulled her in close, he was in the groove. But Dave, he just lay there on his side, his eyes half shut, no place to hide. The sounds got louder, the bed did creak, and Dave was wishing for some peace and sleep. But all he could do was lay there in pain as the room filled with smells like a runaway train. Oh, Dave's hotel room, it's a tale so wild. He was trying to sleep, but his buddy got wild. A woman came in and the bed started to shake, and poor old Dave just lay there awake. The smells filled the air, but he couldn't leave. He was drunk as a skunk, stuck there to grieve. Oh, Dave's hotel room, that was up at night. He'll be thinking about it when the morning light. Now the lights were out, but Dave saw it all. Even in the dark, he could see it fall. The shapes, the motions, he couldn't look away, wishing for the end of this long, long stay. But no matter how hard he tried to ignore, he could hear it all and then some more. A man's gotta sleep, but this wasn't fair. Poor old Dave just lay there and stare. Oh, Dave's hotel room, it's a tale so wild. He was trying to sleep, but his buddy got wild. A woman came in and the bed started to shake, and poor old Dave just lay there awake. The smells filled the air, but he couldn't leave. He was drunk as a skunk, stuck there to grieve. Oh, Dave's hotel room, that was up at night. He'll be thinking about it when the morning light. Well, Dave got up when the sun came through. His head was spinning, but the memories too. He packed his bags and left that place, trying to forget what he couldn't erase. But every time he's on the road again, he'll remember that night and he'll shake his head. Cause the next time he's in a hotel room, he's hoping he won't hear that same old tune.
Guys, that was based on a true story, and I'm gonna tag it here. So, like the day before, right? So he brought the lady, home from the bar on a Thursday, right? Because Friday we basically designated as troubleshooting days. So we'd go in, troubleshoot, which we'd already done, just to get a little extra time on the ticket. And like, so we were in Yuma, and it was a two bank town. So it was me and my coworker and two other dudes, not to dox them, but Randy and Harry were doing the other bank, and they had the room next to us at this rundown flea bitten motel. And the day, that Thursday, they go, hey, we need XY part to finish our bank job. Do you guys have it? And we go, yeah, it's in the van. No problem. Just on Friday, knock on the door. Come on in, and I'll get you the part. So I hear the knock on the door. By now, I'm sober enough to be fully enraged. And I open the door. There's Randy. He's smoking a cigarette like he always was. And he goes, hey, I need that part. And he goes, hey, I heard what was going on here last night. Did you get in on that? And I said, as if I would. I wanted to strangle him. I wanted to murder everybody around me in a 15-foot vicinity. I was... So I wander out to the van. I fucking slam the thing open. I give him the part. I slam the door. I get in there. Bitch took forever to leave. And she's like, oh, I got to go pick up my kids from my ex's house. And I go, as if this couldn't get any better.
Wow.
Very few things in my life have made me so angry that I tell stories to this day about it. This is one of those things. I don't know which I'm more angry about. The fact that they fucked on the bed next to mine, or the fact that she spilled her entire plate of street tacos all over my bed. Probably the sex.
Probably the sex.
Oh, God. So that is it, guys. That is all of Total Request AI. Like I said, thank you for showing up. Ryan, if you're out there asleep, I appreciate. Thank you for the super chats. Much obliged. Like I said, I'm going to be axing the day job, moving on to the meadery. So I'm going to be looking to cut costs and making money elsewhere. Dave never denied eating the tacos. Yeah, no, I ate the tacos. Because that's the
Your
thing.
tacos.
I ate my tacos, and then when she spilled all her shit all over my bed, I go, well, finders
mine
keepers.
now.
I was drunk as shit, so I was like, blah, 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 blah. But still, grease all over the fucking place. So angry. It still makes me angry. Obviously, I'm telling the story 20 years later.
It's been so long. Yeah, it was pre-me.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So, whatever. Thank you for showing up if you did. I appreciate it. This has been Total Request AI here on FFOP Radio. We will be back maybe this week with, depending on if I can throw something together. We'll see what happens. If not, next week for sure. And if you're watching this in the future, that has no bearing on your life whatsoever. Still, I want to throw a thank you out. Again, I'm doubling down. Thank you, everybody who comes to check this out. Anyone in the future, drop a 1 in the chat if this is the future and if you've got a flying car. But anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you for your submissions. Also, I appreciate it. This has been a wild ride. I got to be a DJ for a little while, kind of. But you know what? That's what I'm here to fucking April Ghoulies. Ghoulies? April Ghouls is what I would say, but that's what the Crypt Keeper would say. April Ghouls. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. See you on the next episode of FOP Radio, and I'm out of here.
Bye.
Bye.
Or they try to.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.